Are you on? On? Okay. Message box. Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 3, a very important day. And this will be a game changer for all of you. So, first of all, a quick confirmation as to people can hear my voice clearly. Is the voice clear to all of you? Please just quickly confirm using the chat box. And can you see my video and screen as well? So audio, video, and screen. I need confirmation for 3 things. Okay. So how are you guys? Is the webinar helping you people? Okay. So satisfied, right? Okay. Now let's wait for 2 minutes so that everybody can enter into the session, and because today is really a very important session, and I'm sure this session will be a game changer for you people, will give you lots of confidence. So let's wait for 2 more minutes because people might be joining. So us just will start in 2 minutes. Okay. Thank you. हमजा, वो अक्सर करते हुए स्क्रीन चली जाती है. ठीक. Okay, guys, so 2 minutes gone. And now let's begin with today's very, very important session of performance management. And this session, I'm sure, will be a game changer. So do give me your feedbacks. Let's begin now. First of all, how to remain connected after webinar. This is my number. You can send me a WhatsApp message. And if you are not part of the group, I will add you in the group. Okay. So this is the number. You can note it down. And if today's session is a new session for you, so you can quickly WhatsApp me after the webinar. I'll send you the WhatsApp link for the group. Second, how to remain connected during the webinar. So it's chat box given. You are using GoToMeeting application. You can see a chat box below. So in the toolbar, so you just quickly click that chat box, and yes, you can interact with me. Okay, now webinar day-wise plan, budgets done, variances done, Performance measurement. Today is the important day for you people, and I'm sure this will make your mindset clear about performance measurement. I will openly tell you the real thing behind performance measurement. Okay, decision making tomorrow, advanced costing technique, last day. Next 2 week plan, I've already shared this before. Every day I'm showing you, you have to attend all 5 days of the webinar. You have to follow my $1,000,000 plans that I'm sharing every day at the end of the webinar for the respective sections. You watch those videos, and like this, your preparation will be completed in 5 days only. Okay. A 10 grand revision, I'll share the details of that as well. Then read few chapters. I'm still waiting for the webinars to get ended, and then we'll send you a screenshot of the book and few chapters you need to read. Rest you have to cover through my easy slides. Okay. I'm also sending you slides every day as well. Personally, I'm also sending you through the WhatsApp group. Attempt mock, which is extremely important. If you will solve mock, your chance of passing will increase by I would say 50-60%, and you can pass. Okay, so it's very compulsory mock. Now today's agenda, PM magic. Wow, what a beginning. PM magic. So today I'll do some magic. Are you ready for the magic, my friends? Then balance scorecard, followed by a past paper question, section C of 20 marks. Okay. And then divisional performance, past paper, followed by 20 marks. We'll try to complete this as well. And question and answer session at the end for the last 10 minutes. And this is the most favorite thing, that is the session break. Okay. So again, a quick request to all of you. Please don't waste your effort by writing too many things in the chat box when I'm explaining a certain topic. I will not answer any general questions during the explanation of the topic, okay? During the explanation of the topic. So make sure this is clear in your minds, right? I will take your general questions at the end of the topic. That is, once I reach to this question and answer session. During the topic discussion, you can ask any question relating to topic, but not every time. When I ask you, I'll stop somewhere in between. I'll ask you, okay, now you have questions. So at that time, I want to see the chat box. Okay, otherwise, I'm not focusing on chat box every time, right? So please just follow this. I'm repeating this third time today. Performance measurement, one of the most important examination area, one of the most crucial examination area, and you will be shocked today to see my analysis. So let's begin with the analysis, guys. Let's start the music. Wow. December 27, 2007, December 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Every attempt of ACCA, and the topics are divided into 3 areas. I've divided performance measurement into 3 areas. So financial, see the consecutiveness in this one, divisional, financial, divisional, transfer pricing, divisional, then financial, then transfer pricing, then financial, then transfer pricing, then financial. Wow, you can see so much financials every year. Okay, but is this the end? No. December 15, March 16, September, December 17, 18, 19, 20. And every attempt you saw the questions. So it's the last few attempts will give you the trend again. See this, shock to see financials and non-financials. Divisional, transfer pricing, transfer pricing. So many times financial and non-financials have been tested, right? And you might be thinking that every time the same thing. No, I'll do another magic today. The three broad categories are: number one, financial and non-financial questions. Second is divisional performance questions. Third is transfer pricing. So divisional performance, everybody knows it's ROI and RI, right? And transfer pricing, everybody knows it's a separate, different topic. But what financial and non-financial includes, okay? And that I'll tell you further once I move on. So now these are all together how many attempts? If we start counting these two, so it makes around 29 attempts. 29 attempts. And let's move towards a quick analysis. So the analysis says that financial, non-financial have been tested 62%, that is 18 times out of 29 times. Wow, that's too much. Divisional, 21% of the times. That is 6 times out of 29. Wow. Transfer pricing, 17% of the time. 5 out of 29 times. Shoot, that's too much. The entire section is most important, and I always tell the student that we people have heart, right? Humans have heart. So this is heart of performance management paper. If heart is not working well, the person cannot work, right? So like this, if this section is not good in the paper, you will struggle to pass. Okay, so let's make this easy for you. I hope you have seen a quick analysis that I did here. Okay, it's all my own work. So definitely it is giving you a really good idea, right? Okay, now let's open this box. Let's open this box. Let's open the box of financial and non-financial, because for divisional, everybody knows it's ROI and it's RI, right? Transfer pricing is a separate topic. So let's open the box of financial and non-financial. Wow, it's not the end. Now let's analyze financial and non-financial. Are you ready, guys? Everybody say yes, we are ready. Okay, so let's move on and let's see what we have in the box. Now, question analysis. Now, this is just the financial and non-financial area analysis. That is from December 2007 till December 2020. All these topics relates to financial and non-financial. So I need to categorize this. I will categorize this and will split these into certain number of categories. The categories that I'm telling you is my own product, and this is what I've used in advanced performance management paper APM, and it was globally, accepted by the students and got really famous, and many students passed the tough APM paper because of those categories. But now I think the time is there that performance management deserves those categories. These categories I have tailored according to performance management. Obviously, these are not the same like APM categories, but I have tailored according to PM, and I'm sure these magical categories will make your life easier in the paper. It will help you to select, it will help you to figure out what is being required, what are the requirements, and how to handle it. Okay, so let's do the magic, and here we have the magical categories, which you, I'm sure, have never seen before in any kit or book or from anywhere else. Okay, so here we are, $1,000,000 categories of financial and non-financial. So I'm splitting these 18 times 18 times that have been tested. So I'm just splitting these 18 attempts into certain categories. Number one, theory-based explanation of models. Now, if I say models, so there are two models that are tested in our paper. One is balance scorecard, and second is building block model. Okay, So it's balance scorecard and building block model that comes under this first category. I will say this as category 1. So you have to learn the numbers, okay? In this, you just have to explain the models. It's just a knowledge based category where you just have to write about the general model. It is completely knowledge based. Okay, so this means that you should remember certain points of balance scorecard building block model, so that if in the paper it is tested for 7 to 8 marks, you are able to write this. Okay, second is a bit complicated one, tested more than the first one, is assess, okay, or discuss performance of the company. Performance of the company. You have to assess the performance of the company on the basis of financial and non-financial indicators. Okay, now this is a more popular category of your paper. It is tested more in your exams. If you just look at the frequency, so majority of the times you will see this category being tested. So it's basically the assessment of the performance means that you have to check the business performance through financial, non-financial indicators. And normally, to make it very simple for you, I can simply say here that you will work out the ratios. It's more ratio based, okay? Ratios, you know the ratios, but not only financial ratios, okay? It's not just financial ratios. You also have to work out, or you should know how to work out non-financial ratios, okay? This is the more popular one. But in this category 2, I will actually split this into further 2 parts. So let's see the split. It's with model, it's without model, okay? And I have studied the entire trend of PM, and to be honest, because I teach performance management paper, I teach advanced performance management paper, and you all know that the advanced paper of performance management is advanced performance management, okay? So first of all, some 7 8 years back, I never saw such variety in performance management, and this variety only used to be tested in advanced performance management. So that is why I came up with those categories. But in recent attempts lately, I've seen the trend has been changing, and the examiner is making this paper a bit more tough, I would say, in terms of the level. The point that I want to make here is that questions are now coming of different types. This means examiner is preparing you here for the advanced performance management exam, okay? Because normally people are struggle at APM level. So that is why the examiner has changed the strategy at performance management paper, and the variety has been added very similar to what that is tested in advanced performance management. I'm not saying it's 100% same. I'm not saying the level of examination is same, the difficulty is same. The only point I am explaining here is more variety has been added into this paper, and especially in this section, okay? Especially this section. So it's without model, it's with model, okay? Now, if the question is without model, so I will actually explain you today how to figure out that. So if the question is without model, so we will learn by this number 2.2. Sorry, I beg your pardon, it should not be 2.2, it should be 2.1. So let's make this 2.1 and let's make this 2.2. Okay, so if it is without model, it is 2.1. Okay, if it is without model, it's 2.1, and if it is with model, it's 2.2, right? So what is without and what is with model? So if it is without model, uh, no model will be used. Model like balance scorecard, building block model will not be used, and you need to do the assessment based on general KPIs, which are scenario based. Okay, they are scenario based. So general financial and non-financial performance indicators. You will use financial ratios, you will use non-financial ratios, and on the basis of that, you will do the assessment of the performance. Sometimes in the paper, and lately I've seen that in case of not-for-profit organization, there could be a possibility where a scenario is not of a private sector, and it is kind of a not-for-profit organization, and the examiner might require you to assess on the basis of three E's. Now, what is three E's? Economy, efficiency, effectiveness. But for that, but for that, do remember whether the question states that or not. Okay, you need to keep this in your mind. It's not that you just saw any not-for-profit. It's okay to use it, but at PM level, what I've observed the examiner mindset up till now. So examiner will specifically mention, okay, now use three E's here. So then you have to use three E's. Otherwise, it's all generalized based, scenario based KPIs you have to use. Okay. So this is without model. Now, if it is with model, so it could be using balanced scorecard, scenario based, building block model, scenario based, everywhere. The important thing is it's all scenario based. You can't ignore the scenario. Okay, this is the biggest mistake my friends are doing in the paper. They are not realizing the fact that this is not a management accounting paper. In this, you are not just enough to work out the ratios and that's it. It's all about interpretation. It is all about discussion, and discussion, not general one. Discussion that should be based on the scenario. Okay. So this is 2.2 category. So remember, up till now, how many we have? We have category 1, we have category 2, in which we have 2.2 and 2.1. Okay. The third category that is tested as well these days is about the suggestion, suggest, okay, with proper justification. Now, this is important. Justification. With proper justification. Now, what exactly justification is? Okay. Justification means according to the scenario. You need to understand the situation, and considering the situation, you have to justify it. Okay. So it should be with justification. So suggest with proper justification, KPIs, KPIs, both financial and non-financial. Now, in this category, you are not required to do calculations. You are not required to do calculations. Rather, you need to develop the skills. You should have the skills to think about the financial KPIs and non-financial KPIs. This requirement is all about justification. Now, what is justification? Now, let me give you a quick idea. If you want to buy something and your parents are not allowing you to buy, so what you do? You justify them. Okay, I need a car because the car will be useful for me. I will take the car to my tuition centers. I will take my family, the entire family. I'm sure you are not married here. So, I'll take the family outside to parks, to restaurants, and etc. etc. This means you are justifying your parents that I need a car and it will be beneficial for the entire family and me as well. So this is what you have to do in your paper, my friends. You have to justify the KPI, that why are you suggesting? It's not a game of just writing it out and then just came back and then expecting to pass. You will not, because justification should be according to scenario based. Okay. This is third category, and this justification could be for a balanced scorecard as well. Okay, maybe a balanced scorecard is tested for this KPI. Maybe building block model may come in the paper. Okay, and maybe you need to give justification about economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Okay, so I'll exactly tell you how many things have been specifically tested till today and what is not tested and may come in the paper. Okay, so I'll do this exercise very quickly now. I just want you to know, just keep this in your mind. Let's revise and let's start the rehearsal. This rehearsal will bring big change in your mindset. It will change the way you used to think. You just throw everything out, whatever you have in mind before this. Just incorporate this understanding in your mind. Okay, so let's quickly look at this again. It's category 1, theory based. It's category 2, where you have to assess the performance of the organization through the ratios. This could be without model, generalized one, with model it could be as well. Okay. Then you have to suggest KPIs, proper justification. It could be both for financial and non-financials, and it could be using, it could be keeping in mind balance scorecard or building block model, or even for 3 E's as well. Okay. So yeah, uh, clear? Now, let's move on and let's now do the rehearsal to see whether we are able to understand or not. So the analysis that I showed you earlier, from that sheet or list, I'm picking certain questions and I'm testing your understanding. And now I want you people to reply in front of me. The screen is in front of me, and let's see how many students are replying. We have around plus 200 students right now who are listening me right now. So I expect 200 answers. So guys, are you ready to reply? Everybody, 200 answers I need. Okay. Are you all with me? Let's have a competition. Okay. Let's have a competition. Let's see who replies first. It's a game we are playing right now. So ready for the game, everyone? Okay, let's treat this paper like a game. And if it becomes game, then it becomes your hobby. And when it becomes your hobby, you know how good you are in playing games. So this means you can easily pass this tough paper of performance management, right? Okay, so let's learn. Requirement number 1, appearing here, June 11 Brace Company. Describe balanced scorecard approach to performance measurement for 10 marks. So first two, it's my responsibility. What are the verbs? Okay, I will quickly now start my work. It's a 10-mark requirement. Okay, this will make your theory excellent. Verbs. Describe is the verb. Okay, the verb is describe. Clear? What to describe? Elements. The thing that you have to answer. So what to describe? Balanced scorecard approach to performance measurement is the element. Okay, so verb is describe and element is balance scorecard. So you have to describe balance scorecard. Got it, everyone? Simple. Now, is it knowledge based question or is it application based? So this is a knowledge based question. Reason is nothing has been given here that states that we have to link this to the scenario. So it's knowledge based question. Okay, I haven't started asking you people right now, so listen what I'm saying. It's a knowledge based question, and you remember in my previous days webinars I did told you about knowledge and application based. Now, which category this requirement falls into? This is a question I'm asking you people. Come on, your test starts now. 10 seconds you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, no answer. Which category you think this falls under? So, this first part is what? It's basically what? Let's have a look here. Okay. Now, which category this falls under? No, it is category 1. It is category 1 because I did explain you in category 1 we might be required to explain the model like balance scorecard and building block model. Okay, so it's category 1. I'm sure you will learn things here today, and what all misconceptions you have today in your mind will go out forever, inshallah. Okay, so this is category number 1, because you can see here it says describe balance scorecard. It says describe balance scorecard, right? So this is a knowledge based and this is category 1. Understood, my friends? Everyone, are you all with me? Say yes or no. Understood? Come on, be fast. Okay, I want you to be more responsive, right? So this is balance scorecard, not building block model. Muhammad, what are you listening? It's balanced scorecard. It's written here very clearly. Please Try to concentrate. Okay, through. Now, second test. First, find the verbs. The key verb: assess, discuss, justify, compare. These are verbs. And then the object, the main element. So let's read. Assess the performance of the business in quarter two in relation to the changes and incentives that the company introduced at the beginning of this quarter. Okay. State clearly where further information might be necessary, concluding as to whether changes and incentives have been effective. Okay, now, come on, guys. Are you ready? Say yes or no. I want you people to reply. Okay, now, what is the verb? Let's see. The verb is assess. The verb is assess. Okay, the verb is assess, right? Now, what is the key element that requires to be answered here? What to assess? My question is, what to assess? So, you have to assess the performance of the business, right? Performance of the business. Okay, assess the performance of the business in relation to what? In relation to changes and incentives that company introduced at the beginning of the quarter. So you have to assess the performance, but every time, not every time, there are certain situations or questions in the paper where the examiner even gives you the hint how the performance assessment will be done. So just don't ignore that hint. Okay, it's sometimes written assess the performance of the business. Okay, fine, we know, but sometimes it gives you hint that makes easy for you to grip. So that is in relation to changes and incentives that the company introduced at the beginning of the quarter. This means there is a company that have introduced certain incentives and changes. So now you have to see whether those changes have been effective or not. So you have to assess that. Okay, you have to assess the performance. So I would say performance is what you have to assess. Getting the point, everyone? In relation to changes and incentives. Okay, are we clear about this, everybody? We should be. Okay, now is the question, $1,000,000 question. Which category you think this falls under? And I'll wait here for 10 seconds, and I think I should show you the categories as well. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I can see majority of the answers going right, and that is really good. That is really exciting me here, that yeah, majority of the answers are going right, and that's the best part. So which category this falls under? Right, yes, this is the reward I'm getting for the hard work. It's without model, which means without model you have to use general KPIs based on scenario, and you will assess the performance. Come on, do you see this magic happening, everyone? It's 2.2. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It's 2.1. Yeah, it's 2.1 without model. No model is mentioned in the question requirement. So yes, it's 2.1. Everybody, are you with me? Say yes. So this is 2.1. Okay. Now, this is 2.1. And obviously, this question is obviously knowledge based or application based. Obviously, it's application based. Okay, you have to apply the knowledge. So we are done with the two quick tests, and you cleared the first round. Are you ready for the second round, guys? Now we are playing the second round for $100. Are you ready for the second round of $100? That I'll not give you, okay? Now, let's start. imaginary $100 round 2. Yes. The question is, using all the information provided, including the People's Bank vision and values, discuss the performance of the People's Bank in 20x6. Note each of the 4 headings of balanced scorecard to structure your discussion. This is for 18 marks. So guys, are you ready to play this one? What is the verb? Come on, I need quick answers. What is the verb? Don't jump at the category first. The verb is discuss. Yes, my friends are getting better. This time they all will pass, inshallah. Discuss. Right. Great. Now, what is the element? Now, element is extremely important. Let me look at the element's answer. Element. I need element answer. Okay. Okay. More answers. There are 200 plus students who are listening me right now. Okay. Now, I'll correct you here. Your half answer is right. Performance. Perfect. But listen, if you keep yourself confined to the word performance only, you are missing the indication of the examiner. You are missing the hint of the examiner. And the hint is you have to discuss the performance what? Keeping in mind the People's Bank vision and values. Your answer of performance is perfect, but you are missing a very crucial hint that is given by the examiner, which is considering vision and values. Okay, so that makes a complete element here. Okay, now the same thing we found out in the previous one as well. Remember, here it was changes and incentives, right? So it's the same thing, values, vision and values. Now, which category you want this to be part of? Let's see my students are getting better or not. Wow, it's $100 imaginary question. It's category 2.2 using which model? Balance scorecard. Balance scorecard. Wow, wow, wow. I always tell everybody, raise your level. You raise your level from MA, F2 to F5. This is the step up we are doing today. The gap is being bridged today. Okay. So I'm bridging the gap. So it's balance scorecard, right? And it's with model. Okay. 2.2 category. Got it, everyone? Great to see this. Now, category 2.2. 2.2. 2.2. Okay, it's got category 2.2. Got it, guys? Clear? Great. Now the next one, quickly, 10 seconds you have. Okay, what is the verb? Let's see. For each dimensions of building block model, calculate verb number 1. Let's break the requirement into pieces. One performance indicator is the object. Okay, for MSC and one for OSC, average using data available. Great. Briefly justify your choice of performance indicator. So briefly justify. This is the verb. Okay, you have to justify the choice of performance indicator, the indicator that you chose. Okay, getting the point? See how I'm splitting this, please. How I'm splitting this? Okay, and usually this word and separates. Usually this word and tells you the number of elements that are tested. Okay, and discuss. Third verb. Third verb is discuss. Performance of the company. Wow, what a requirement. What a requirement. Now, this is a magical question, I would say. See, the first was to calculate the performance indicator. The second was to justify the performance indicator that you chose for calculation. Okay. And then you were required to discuss the performance. Got it? So, one verb, one element. Second verb, second element. Third verb, third element. See how easy the requirement has become. And let me tell you, examiner marking scheme will give you marks for all three elements. If you solve this only and left the other, you will not get complete marks. If you did two and left the third one, you will not get the marks. Getting the point? So you have to separately deal with each and every element. And this is the biggest weakness of students who are appearing for this paper. They don't know what to do in the exam. So three verbs, three elements. Now, normally the marking scheme is designed according to elements. Your marks are assigned according to elements. If you follow the three elements, then only you get complete marks, because examiner has divided the marking scheme. Now calculation has the least number of marks. Calculation has the least number of marks. Are you getting the point? So the calculation of performance indicator has least marks. Justification and discussion has good marks. Justification and discussion has good marks. Okay. So understood, guys? Are you clear about the three verbs and the three elements in this requirement? Quickly say yes. Now comes the important question for today, and a $1,000 question. Which category this entire requirement falls under? Nida Anwar, you are writing in a chat box. What kind of chat box you are finding? Okay. Now, which category you think this will fall under? This is a big question. Let's see. It's $1,000 question that I will not give you. Now, tell me how many of you say which category this falls under? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Now, should I give the answer? Are you ready for the answers, everyone? Ready for the answers, everyone? Yes, you are ready. So let's begin now. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Let me change the color of the pen so that you are able to differentiate what I am writing here separately. And I want to make my pen more thicker. Okay, I can't see the option. Anyways, now listen, friends. It's a hybrid category. I like the answer from Mohammad Mahmood. Mohammad Mahmood, congratulations. You have won $1,000 virtually. Okay. It's a hybrid requirement having two things in one, right? So let me tell you, it's 2.2 because you had to discuss the performance. 2.2 because you had to discuss the performance. Okay? 2.2, which means when you discuss anything, you obviously work out the ratios. Okay? You obviously work out the ratios if you discuss anything. So this is a discussion of the performance that you were required to do. So you had to calculate the ratios. So that's perfect. Okay? It's 2.2 first. Second, it also included the impact of three category where you had to justify the indicator that you have used for your discussion. Right. So it's category 3 in combination with 2.2. It's category 3 in combination with 2.2. Guys, is this interesting? Are you able to understand the tool? Is my product useful for you? So you can see here, as we were required to discuss the performance, right? So it's category 2.2 where we have to use building block model to check the performance of an organization. Okay, it's category 2.2 because when you discuss something, obviously I mentioned here that you work out the ratios, right? You work out the ratios. So that is part of the calculation. Calculation is part of this then. Okay, but it was not just about discussion. It also required you to justify the performance indicators that you have used for the discussion. So it's a blend of two things. That is category 2.2 building block model you use for assessing the performance, and category 3 in which you use building block model to justify why you use that indicator. Getting the point, guys? What's your feedback? Now it's time to take your feedback. What's your feedback? Is it useful? The way we are separating this, is it magical or not? The way you can split up the requirements, you are understanding what exactly is being asked. Is my product useful for you? Okay, thank you. So this is a quick tool in the paper. So yeah, this requirement has been sorted out well, and I hope this is clear to all of you here that how we figured out with that which category this actually falls under. Now don't guess, Fazil, don't guess what will come in the paper and what not will come in the paper. Please, already our life is so difficult. Don't create further difficulties. Okay, don't assume what will come. I have given you a tool, just use this tool, that's it. Okay, and stay happy. Okay, now I'll tell you what to do after identifying requirements. Obviously, first let me resolve one issue. So I think we are done with this one. Okay, so as you just see here, this was the first verb, this was the second verb, this was the third verb, and it's entirely application based. Okay, it's entirely application based, right? You have to apply everything according to the scenario. The first object, the second object, the third object. Okay, so because we were required to discuss the performance, this is category 2.2 with model, that is building block model, and because we were required to justify, this is category 3, 2.2 and 3. Okay, because it's the building block model written in the question. Please try to focus. It's building block model is written in that is building block model. Then why you are saying why building block model? It is written in the questions building block model. Okay, Halima, I hope you are not getting my point. Just concentrate here. Right now, done with this. So question is in front of you, and we have seen here the category splitted and made this simple, right? Now ready for next thing. Come on, ready for the next one? Yes, let's begin. Let's begin the game. required for each perspective, of balanced scorecard, identify two goals together with corresponding performance measure for each goal, which could be used by the company to assess whether changes have been successful. Justify the use of performance measures that you choose. 16 marks. So tell me the verbs. Okay. What are the verbs? So the verb is number one, identify. Identify. Okay. What to identify? Two goals and performance measure for them. Two goals and performance measure for them. Okay, got it? See the split I'm doing here, right? So the first requirement is identify, and the element that you need to identify, target each and every element separately. As I mentioned, the marks are given to you separately. Okay, next, justify. Justify, another verb, justify. I'm sure you're getting what verbs are, right? Justify, justify the use of performance measures. Okay, then you have to justify the performance measures. So the performance measures that you will identify first, then you have to justify them, that why are you using these performance measures. You have to justify the performance measures. Okay, so the first verb I want to highlight here in front of you is identify. And what to identify is the first object, that is two goals and performance measure. Okay. Second verb is justify. And what to justify? The performance measures. This is the second object. Guys, this is the best I can do to make requirements easier and easier and easier for you. Okay, agreed? Yeah. Uh, assess is another verb that I can figure out from here. Yeah, you are right. Thank you. Assess, also you will actually, sorry. Assess is not a verb in this case. Sorry. Assess is not the verb in this case. Where is that? Ibrahim, assess is not the verb in this case, because it says that you have to identify those measures that will help them to assess the changes. Okay, so you can't just look at the word and you say, okay, this is verb. This is not a verb in this case. Only in this question it's not a verb. Okay, just because that, just understand the English. It's not that you have to assess, it is that you have to identify that indicator that will help them to assess. Okay, that will help them to assess. So it's not about you to assess, it's about them to assess. So if the verb has been used for you, then it would have been the right verb, otherwise it's not the verb. Okay, so yeah, it's not the verb in this case. So guys, which category you think this will come under? Come on, it's the second last test. Which category this comes under? Let's see. Let's see. What answers are we getting here? Which category you think this comes under? Yeah, it does mention about balanced scorecard. Huh? Just keep this in your mind. Yeah. So, which category this comes under? And it's not a hybrid one. Really sorry, your answers are wrong. It's not a hybrid one because here you don't have to do any discussion of the performance. Okay, you don't have to do any discussion of the performance. You don't have to comment on the company's performance. This is the problem students did in the paper. This is not a hybrid one. It's simple category 3 using balance scorecard. You are suggesting the goals, you are suggesting the performance measures that will be useful for them to assess, not for you to assess. See, it is not category 2.2. It is not category 2.2 because you are not required to assess the performance. You don't have to do any assessment here. No assessment, no discussion here. You just have to focus on what? Just have a look quickly. If I go back, so you can quickly just reconcile yourself. See, it says identify, justify, and assess is wrong. Okay, no assessment here. So identify, justify what? 2 goals and KPIs according to the company situation. That's it. No assessment. Don't think that this is, just read the sentence. It says those indicators that will help them to assess, but you are not required to assess. Okay, so it's totally category 3. See, and to be honest, students did this mistake in the paper. And this is a question, let me tell you a very interesting thing. In this question, if you have solved this question, there is no numbers given. There were no numbers given. And people were so confused in the paper and they were looking at the numbers, from where to get numbers. Let's start doing the discussion because you are really good in category 2. When it comes to performance assessment, you are really good in that. When it comes to suggesting the KPIs, you are not good, which means you are not good in category 3. You are good in category 2. And that is why you can't differentiate between category 3 and 2, because 2 deals with performance assessment using the indicators, ratio analysis, and category 3 is about just suggesting the KPIs for the company. Like number of repeat customers. This is a suggestion that I'm giving here. Okay, like percentage repeat customers. Okay, like number of new innovative products developed by the organization. Okay, this is what suggestion is about. This is what suggestion is about. Are you getting the point? I'm giving you examples. So number of repeat customers, number of new products launched, number of successful products launched, number of positive feedbacks. This is the suggestion that you have to give in the paper. So here in this category 3, it's all about the suggestions. Then why he mentioned the question? Because you are not understanding the questions, Ishan. Sorry to say. The question is saying that just tell those indicators that will help them to assess. You are not required to assess. Okay. So it's balance scorecard. Balance scorecard. Considering the 4 perspective of scorecard, you have to do this. Getting the point? So, and you cannot do a discussion, Mahmood, because there was no data given to do the discussion. So how can you do a discussion at first place in this question? Anyways, if you had the data still, you didn't have to do it because the question required you to do what? Just suggest the indicators. Category 3 is indicators. Okay. The last one. Last one. Briefly define efficiency, effectiveness. Briefly define what? Efficiency and effectiveness. This is 3 E's, okay? Briefly define efficiency and effectiveness. Done. Next, suggest. Suggest is the verb. suggest. You should know what verbs are. Explain, define, briefly discuss, briefly describe, justify, evaluate. These are verbs, okay? Suggest one performance measure for each, which would help company. Now, don't think the word assess is here. This is not the verb for you, because it says which would help the company to assess efficiency and effectiveness. You are not required to do this. See, you are not required to do this. Which will help the company to do this. This is the point. So, suggest one performance measure. Now, can you tell me which category this falls under? This is the last test. Which category this falls under? Yes, guys, come on. I'm waiting for your answers. I'm really shocked to see people are writing 2.1. I don't know why 2.1. Because you are not required to assess. Again, they are not getting the point. It says you don't understand the requirement. It says one measure for each which would help them to assess. You are not required to assess. You have to tell indicator only that they will use. You don't have to use. Okay. So the answer is, because you are required to briefly define efficiency and effectiveness. So, okay, this is category 1. Category 1 for this part, right? And the suggestion part is category 3. Category 3. So it's 1 and 3. It's 1 and 3. Okay? It's 1 and 3. So my friends, I can see a big issue in your understanding today. This was a big learning for me, because you people are not categorizing the requirement, and this magical tool will help you to improve your skills for sure. This video is important for you, for your exam. Okay, so this is category 1 that requires define these two, and category 3 which requires to suggest. Now just read this in a continuous way. Suggest one performance measure for each which would help company assess the efficiency and effectiveness of the service it provides. You don't have to assess. You just have to suggest the indicator. For example, number of passengers per bus is an indicator. Number of passengers per bus is a efficiency indicator. Getting the point? Yeah. So let me go back and let me come to the magical categories. Is this useful now? Tell me a quick summary before I move. The first category, let me just okay. Now, now the last thing. First category is just general explanation of the model, of any model. Okay, any model. This is knowledge based. Second, performance. You have to assess the performance of the company. Here you have to calculate ratios, financial, non-financial, and do the work. It could be without model, general based on the scenario KPIs, could be with the model. Got it? Third is you have to suggest with the justification, okay, the KPIs for the company, and this could be using scorecard suggestion or balanced building block model, or it could be 3 E's. Okay, so up till now, I hope this is clear to all of you, and I have given you practical examples, and you did yourself certain things. Do watch this video again so that you get to understand more thoroughly. This is a tool, this is a gift Rizwan Mania is giving to you. So it's a copyright thing, right? Okay. Thank you. Now, guys, just give me a feedback. I'm coming back to the chat box. Was this new for you people? Tell me, this way of learning, was this useful? Thumbs up for this or not? Or just only a yes? Is it different? So I'm sure you have never seen such a magical thing, and I'm sure this will change your mindset. And this is just for financial and non-financials only. Okay, don't apply this anywhere else, right? So thank you very much for your appreciation. And now I hope this will improve your understanding. So whenever you are approaching financial, non-financial question, you have to use these categories. Okay. Now let's begin with a proper topic, and through the understanding that we received right now, we will solve a question, and I'll make that question a piece of a cake for you, inshallah. So you know what CSFs are? Critical success factors, area in which a business should win. Okay, area in which a business should win, CSFs. CSFs are related to your mission. Now, what is a mission? Mission basically tells the purpose of an organization, why organization exist. Okay, so CSFs are those areas in which a business should win. Getting the point, everyone? Now, to check whether we are winning in the area of CSFs or not, we have KPIs to check. Key indicators, KPIs. Key performance indicators are those indicators that will measure whether CSFs will be achieved or not. Getting the point, everyone? So what all we have learned, let's apply it today. So we have KPIs, financial as well. Let me give you certain examples. Percentage return on capital employed, gross profit margin, net profit margin. Okay. Percentage ROS, percentage gross profit, percentage financial gearing. All these are financial indicators. Okay. Then comes non-financial indicators like percentage customer returns, number of repeat customers. Are you getting the point? Okay. Number of positive feedbacks, right? So it is important to focus on both financial and non-financial. And my today's $1 million plan will include a video that I've conducted, that I've taken in the that of a webinar that held previously. You have to watch, and that will give you the basic understanding. If you're weak in this, don't worry. If you're weak in this, so that video will resolve your issue. You do watch that. I'll share in the $1 million plan that will focus a lot on CSFs and KPIs. Here I'm just giving you a quick idea, and we'll move on to the next area, because I don't want to repeat the areas in every session. Okay, so we need to strike a balance between financial and non-financial. I cannot just rely on financials. I cannot just rely on non-financials. Whenever we are assessing the performance, now assessing performance is which category? I'll test your knowledge again and again. Which category? Assessing performance, which category? Tell me the category number. 2. 2. Okay, 2. So category 2. When you are at category 2, you have to use financial indicators as well as non-financial indicators. Getting the point? Great. Now, listen. If you have to suggest the indicators, which category? Suggest the indicators. Suggest the indicators. Tell me the category. Yes, you're going good. That's nice. Third, so when you are suggesting the indicators, you again have to keep in mind financial indicators and non-financial indicators. See the connection. The connection. Okay. So suggestion also requires these two things, and assessment also requires these two things. Getting the point? Okay. Now, the model that I'll focus today is balanced scorecard. This model is a one that focuses on both non-financial and financials, because this model is a one that focuses on internal and external factors. This model was developed by the two doctors, Dr. Kaplan, Dr. Norton, and those two doctors created this scorecard, and this scorecard is in front of you right now. So when you use balanced scorecard, now listen, you know the categories, right? So you can use the balanced scorecard for all the three categories. Now, tell me, if you have to explain the scorecard, which category? I'm testing your knowledge. If you have to explain the scorecard, everybody, there are 200 plus students. I'm just getting 20 answers. Yes, loving this. If you have to assess the company's performance, next question. If you have to assess the company's performance using scorecard, assess the company's performance using scorecard. Yes. This is category 2.2. On target, my friends. You are on target. Again, Zishan said category 3. I don't know from where he's saying category 3. I'm saying assess the performance of the company. Okay. Now, if you are required to suggest KPIs using scorecard, suggest KPIs using scorecard. Which category? Which category? Suggest KPIs using scorecard. Yeah, it's category 3. Again, someone came with 2.1. Hafiz Mubashir. It's 3, my friend. Okay, suggest KPIs using scorecard. Suggest. So it's category 3. Okay, understood everyone? So now, this balanced scorecard focuses on 4 perspectives. Financial perspective focuses on shareholder value creation. Okay, and listen, these are examples of financial KPIs. So you can measure the shareholder value through ROAS, for example, profit margin, for example. Okay. The second perspective says that we need to focus on satisfying customers, and this you can do through non-financial KPIs. So these are non-financial ones. That is number of repeat customers, percentage of customer complaints. Okay, I'll tell you a good secret after I end this with this balanced scorecard. Third, internal perspective focuses on internal efficiency, the fastness of the process, how fast the internal system of an organization is. Like if you say ACCA, how fast the ACCA registration process is, how fast the ACCA examination process is. Okay. So the indicators, the KPIs, again, these are non-financial ones. Percentage system downtime, labor turnover. You know what is system downtime? Exam day, before the exam day or on the exam day, your website is not working sometimes. And you say, oh, result not coming, result not coming. And sometimes you use this as a reason not to tell others what your result is, right? So this system downtime, the website is not working. Labor turnover, percentage labor turnover, okay? Innovation learning focuses on future of the business, how the organization is developing itself for the future. Is it innovating or not? Are they giving their staff the development chance or not? So the indicators are percentage of revenue from new products. Now this is financial. Are you able to differentiate? Number of training hours is non-financial. Okay. So now, two things I need to conclude from this discussion. Two things. Listen. Be with me. Two things I need to conclude from the discussion. Number one, balance scorecard, 4 perspectives. You can use both financials and non-financials. You can use both financials and non-financials, both, depending on the perspective. But mainly, it uses non-financials in customers, internal, and innovation. Second crucial thing, listen, second crucial thing, when you are suggesting, this is for category 3, okay? When you are suggesting KPIs, when you are suggesting KPIs, category 3, okay? So your suggestion of KPIs is done in terms of number of or percentage. Whenever you suggest, try to suggest in terms of percentage or number of, as number of repeat customers, percentage of customer complaints, percentage profit margin. Okay. So when you are suggesting the KPIs for category 3, the suggestion should be number of complaints, number of repeat customers, percentage profit margin. This is for both financial and non-financial KPIs. This for both financial and non-financial KPIs. Are you noting this down? This is a very valid point. Okay. So I told you two things. You can use both financial and non-financials, but mainly it's more non-financial. Second, when you're suggesting for category 3, so you suggest in terms of number of something or percentage of something. Got it? I hope you have noted this down. Tip of the day, section C. Narrative questions coming now. Let's deal with a big section C question. Answering narrative questions requires a structured approach using clear paragraphs. Today I'll show you the structured approach. I'll show you the clear paragraphs and headings where possible. I'll show you everything today. Using word, item, type in CBE, you should jot down a very short answer plan of bullets points and then use these bullets essentially to become headings. If you need to practice for this, just quickly jot down the points by reading the question. Okay, these are the things I can write, and I'll show you how to jot down. Today I'll make this a piece of a cake. You will see this, you will see this practically. I have heard people saying structure, answer, headings, but nobody tells how to do it. So I'll tell you how to do it. Make sure you're answering, make sure that you are answering the question set, not the one you would like to answer. Normally what we do, we answer what we want to answer. We don't answer what is required to be answered. So I'll work on these two things today. My structuring paragraphs, you'll see, I'll tell you, and I'll even tell you how to plan the answer. Now, another instruction, it's a day of tips only. Performance measurement questions, 5 do's that you have to focus on. The number 1, read the requirement, verb especially, discuss or assess. Plan the answer according to 1.8 minutes per mark. If it is a 20 mark requirement, so 1.8 into 20 makes 36. Follow simple working and writing strategy. What is that? CCD. Now this strategy is only applicable, listen what I'm saying. This strategy is only applicable for category 2. Category 2. Which category? Write it down. Which category? Come on, repeat everyone. Category 2. Yeah, category 2. CCD. I'll tell you what CCD is. Discussion. Why thing has changed and do link with the scenario. Why it has changed and do link with the scenario. Why it has changed and do link with the scenario. You know which is category 2? Are we clear about what is category 2? Tell me. Assessing the performance. Yeah. So why thing has changed and link with the scenario. Use subheadings and different short paragraphs. You can use subheadings and different short paragraphs. 5 do's for category 2. Ready? Ready, guys? Okay. Now, this is CCD. CCD. Okay, this is CCD. First, calculate the ratio, then comment. What comment means? Is it good or bad? First, calculate the ratio. And the calculation will be for financial as well as non-financial performance indicators. Financial performance indicators, non-financial performance indicators. For example, percentage return on capital employed, percentage change in profit margin. This is all financial. And for non-financial as well, percentage change in customers, percentage change in orders. So calculate. This is all for category 2. Okay. Then comment. Is it good or bad? Now, how will you comment on good or bad? By comparing with previous years or industry or budgets. These are million-dollar things that I'm telling you here in this short span of time. Just note it down and become experts. So comment by comparing the ratios. Comment by comparing the ratios using previous years, industry or budgets. Is it good or bad? Now, what comment means? This is a good sign. This is a bad sign. That's it. Okay. So ratio, then comment, and then discuss. And then discuss. So what to do in discuss? Yes, what to do in discuss? Why and link with scenario. Why and link with scenario. So you need to discuss why this changed, why this happened, why it's good, why it's bad, why it's good, why it's bad, and link with scenario. Why and link with scenario. Understood, everyone? Making this really easy. So it's CCD. Calculate the ratio, comment it's good or bad by comparing with previous years, industry or budgets, and then discuss why it's good, why it's bad, and link with the scenario. It should be according to the scenario. Understood? Loving this? Category 2 explanation. Okay. So the groundwork has been done. The groundwork has been done. First, you calculate ratios, my friend. How without calculation you can move towards the discussion? I don't understand. You need to work out ratios first. On the basis of that, you can do the discussion. Okay. Done. So CCD. So this is what we were covering here. CCD, Y, and link with scenario. This is for discussion, right? This is for discussion. Got it? Let's move towards the question. Let's move towards the question and let's see what the question is about. I have done the groundwork. I took my time. I did the groundwork and now it's time to enjoy the fruits. So let's enjoy the fruits now. Okay. People's Bank. People thought this to be a tough one. And I'll make this peanuts for you today, inshallah. Let me tell you, let's read the requirement. Now you are expert in reading the requirement. That is why read the requirement first and then the scenario. Okay, then the scenario. Shoaib, Farooq, wait, I'll tell you what to do. First work out all the ratios, Shoaib, and then one by one discuss each. Now, let's read part B first. B. Using all of the above information, including the People's Bank vision and values, discuss performance of People's Bank in 20x6. Okay. Note each of the 4 headings of scorecard to structure discussion. Come on, tell me. The verb, quickly. Verb is discuss. Okay. I'm giving a break. Please, I already mentioned the time. And what is the object? What is the object? Element. What is the element? Come on. What is the element? Performance of the People's Bank is the element, and keeping what in mind? The vision and the values. The vision and the values. Okay? Okay. Which category? My champions. My champions. Which category? Come on, my champions. Which category? Which category? I'm looking at the answers. It's good that majority are giving right answers. That's a sigh of relief for me. Still few are not getting the right things. It's category 2.2. Category 2.2. Yes. Okay. And in category 2.2, how we deal with this? C, C, D. What answer plan is in front of you? What an answer plan? What an answer plan? Happy? It's 2.2 with model. It's balanced scorecard. And you have to follow CCD. Happy, guys? So what's your feedback? Before I take the break, are you in a good position today? after this 1.5, 1.5 hour? Where you stand after this 1.5 hour? Since 2 days I'm working to make this easy for you. What's your quick feedback as far as the half session is concerned? Today, was this a magical one? Okay, so do share your feedback with ACCA Pakistan right after the session, okay? Do share feedback, especially for today, how things have gone easier for you right after the session, not right now. Let's take a quick break. It's time for break. Let's enjoy and we'll see you. It's right now 5:31 local time. We'll start 5:41 local time. See you after the break. शुरू करो, टाइम नहीं है। Okay, welcome back, guys, from the break. A quick thing here. Those who are not in my WhatsApp groups, please just send me the message at this number, which you can see in front of your screens, and I'll share the group link with you people so that you become part of my group, and that we will, then you can take the advantage of that. Okay, so you can send me a quick WhatsApp message. I'll add you in the group if you're still not part of my groups. If you're already part, then no need to. So CCD is what we need to apply here, as you can see, right? And you can see here that we have two examinable verbs used in the question. One is explain and one is discuss. Okay, discuss. So let's first focus on the examinable verb, that is discuss. Okay, now the verb is discuss. So what exactly one is supposed to do in discuss? Let's see. This is a higher level and requires candidate to give their own thoughts on a subject, supporting it with facts and logical reasoning. Also, you are expected to look at both sides of the story. The discuss instruction is always a good test of candidates' real understanding. Both sides of the story you need to cover up. That is the positive and the negative side. Okay. Now, what to discuss is important. So I already told you, according to the CCD principles, calculate, comment, and discuss. And in discuss, I told you we have to, in case of financial and non-financial, I'm talking about, we have to consider why, and we have to link with the scenario. Okay, so let's read the scenario now. Be with me, everyone. Let's read the scenario. Let's highlight. Let's learn what to highlight and what not to highlight. And I'll show you the things that I'm highlighting here are all useful for you. People's Bank is a bank based in the country of N. So one thing to highlight always is to understand what work they do. What work they do. Okay. So what work they do. So it's a bank. It's a service business. Okay. It has total 65 branches across the country and offers online banking, access to services via computer. Okay, so they provide online banking and telephone banking, and yeah, that's it, to its customers. Recently, the People's Bank also began offering its customers a range of mobile banking services. So this is the third service they are providing, which can be accessed from customers' smartphones and tablet computers. Its customer base is made up of both private and business customers. The range of services it includes current accounts, saving account, credit cards, business and personal loans, and mortgages. Now, every time mission or vision that is given in the paper is extremely important to underline. Vision is what? Vision is preferred picture of an organization. Okay. Vision is basically the preferred picture of an organization. Because People's Bank vision is to be the bank that gives back to its customers. So this means that their vision is to work for their customers. Their dream is to work for their customers. Okay. And their purpose, So what is their purpose? So now listen, purpose is your mission. This is vision and this is mission. So once you work on your purpose, you achieve your vision. Okay. So your mission is what? Let's see, to help people to help people and businesses to live better lives and achieve their ambitions. This is their mission. So now if you help people and make lives better, you have achieved your purpose, you have achieved your mission, which means that you will achieve your vision. If you work for people, if you work for them, if you achieve your purpose, you will achieve the mission, which means you are working for them. Okay. Now, in order to achieve this, the bank values are stated. So the values are given here, things that they value a lot. Okay. So let's see. Putting customer needs first, which involves anticipating and understanding customer needs and making products and services accessible to many customers as possible. So they want to give customer the priority. The People's Bank has recently invested information like this, which gives you the idea that they have taken some kind of a decision or an action or some kind of a change. I repeat, some kind of a decision or an action or some kind of a change is there. You should underline all those. People Bank has recently invested heavily in IT security to prevent frauds. This is a decision and they did something new. And also invested to make more services accessible to disabled and visually impaired customers. So this is something they did, so you should underline. So as I mentioned, some decision they took, some change they did, you should underline. Second, making business simple is their second value, which involves identifying opportunities to simplify activities and communicating clearly and openly. Third, making a difference to communities they serve, which involves primarily helping the disadvantaged and new homeowners. Okay, new homeowners, and also supporting small and medium-sized businesses and acting fairly and responsibly at all times. These are their values. Until and unless you don't read the scenario in the right way, you can't score marks. You can't score high marks here. So I will today ensure that you score high marks. Okay. Extract from the People's Bank scorecard as shown below. Now, people get confused in the paper by looking so many things and they say such a difficult question came. Don't worry. Is this a difficult one? You decide later on after half an hour. Okay. So we have 4 broad categories and everybody knows these are the categories of balanced scorecard. Now, just do quick analysis with me here. First indicator, ROCE, actual and target is given. Now, target, you know what target is, right? Interest income, second indicator. Interest income of the bank, the income that bank earns, right? Net interest margin, third indicator. Fourth, amount of the new lending to SMEs. Fourth, customer perspective, 1. Number of first-time home buyers who came to you and you gave them the mortgage, the house finance loan. Number of complaints per 1,000 customers, second indicator. Number of talking cash points stalled for visually impaired, third. Number of wheelchair ramps, 4. Don't get confused. Relax in the paper. Chill. Take it easy. It's easy. Okay. Internal process. Number of business processes within People's Bank re-engineered and simplified. Number 1. Number of new services made available through mobile banking. Second. Incidence of fraud. Third. Total carbon dioxide emission. Fourth. Okay. Right. Learning and growth. Number of colleagues trained to provide SME advice, 1. Number of hours used to support community projects, 2. Number of trainee positions taken up by the candidates from N's most disadvantaged area, 3rd. Number of community organizations supported, 4. 4 in learning, 4 in internal, 4 in customer, 4 in financial. So come on, tell me the total count. 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 makes total how much? 16 indicators. 16 indicators. Okay? 16 indicators. And just look and check the marks, and you will be shocked. How many marks? Wow, 16 marks. 16 marks, 16 indicators means what? 16 divided by 16 means what? 1 mark each. Easy. 1 mark each. Okay? 1 mark each. Right? So, if it is 1 mark each for the work that you have to do, and what work you have to do for each CCD, you have to do CCD. Okay? For 1 mark, you have to do what? CCD. For each indicator, you have to do CCD, right? So, if 4 for financial perspective, which means how many marks? 4 indicators, 4 marks for financial, 4 marks for customers, 4 marks for internal process, okay? And 4 marks for learning and growth. Simplified. Simplified. Understand the way I'm applying things. Okay? So 16 marks altogether. My voice is clear to all of you? Is my voice clear to all of you? Yeah, okay, thank you. So 16 marks altogether. Right? Now if it is, oh, it's because I haven't kept the camera speaker. Yeah, sorry, forgot it. You're right. Here this is. It will be fine. Okay. So 16 marks, split is clear. 4 marks for each perspective. 1 mark you are getting for each of them to do what? C, C, D. Now, what the first C is? Calculate. In this question, we don't have much to calculate, because we can't calculate using targets and actual. We compare target and actual. We can't calculate percentage change using target and actual. Things are already given to us in percentages. We have, okay, that's fine. But normally we can't do calculation for targets and actual. What can I do here? Okay. If I would have previous year figures, actual ones of 2005 and 6 and things like that, so I could have worked out the percentage change of that. So this means this work is not much to be done, and that is why 1 mark 1 indicator. 1 mark 1 indicator. So nothing much to calculate here. So what to do then? Comment. Okay, I'll make this a piece of a cake for you. How to comment? What comment is? Good, bad, good, bad. So how to judge it's good or bad? Come on, can any one of you tell me? How to judge it is good or bad? Simple. Compare with the target. If it is below the target, it's bad. If it is more than the target, it's good. I mean, if you are achieving the target, it's good. If you are not achieving the target, it's bad. Simple. Simple. Okay? Simple. Then discuss. Okay, what to discuss? What to discuss? This is the element, right? If I just quickly make this clear for you, this is the element. Discuss, right? This is the element. And always in the paper, if you are given with what? If you are given with what? If you are given with some indication to use that. And the indication is People's Bank vision and values. So you have to discuss keeping in mind vision and values. Okay. So where do we have vision and values? Where do we have vision and values? Here we have the values. Yeah, these. These are what I am gonna use a lot. That's it. Getting the point? Okay. Now, let's start. CCD. C, calculation not to be done because majority of the things, there are so many things given in form of percentages, in form of indicators, and we can't do workings using targets and actual only. So what to do now? Let's see. Let's look at the marks. How to get marks? For each heading, okay, just look whether it is in line with the mission, 0.5 to 1 mark. And for each heading, discuss the possible links. Possible links means why. Why? This is why, right? Why this happened? Why this not exceeded the target? Why this have exceeded the target? Why? Discussion of why. Okay? And you are linking with the scenario. Link with scenario. As I told you, why and link with scenario. Why and link with scenario. Okay? So, as you want to judge, right? It's good or bad. That you will do keeping in mind the vision and the values. Okay? And if possible, where possible, if you found the links, do write it. So 0.5 to 1 marks. Now, listen. The first heading is what? Heading here, I mean to say the indicator, okay? The first indicator is what? Rows. So for rows, I'll do two things. Number one, I will look whether it is in line or it's good or bad, okay? And second, if I can find any reason that it didn't achieve the target, I'll mention. So for every indicator, I'll try to find two things and write two things. This is the total thing I have to do for my CCD here. Getting the point? Yes or no? So first I have to comment on good and bad, right? And then if I can tell any reason why this happened, I will. So two things for every indicator. Are you ready? It will not take more than 7-8 minutes and this will be done. Okay. First, rows. Come on, tell me the first thing. Is it below the target, above the target? Okay. Is it above or below the target? Now, listen, try to understand. Is it above the target or below the target? It's below the target. Okay, okay. And now, why this happened? Possible reasons. Why this happened? Possible reasons. Any possible reasons? Okay. Possible reason could be number one, investment. Investment in IT security and investment to make services more accessible. The more investment you make, your ROS can go down because ROS formula is PBIT divided by capital employed. Great. That's it. So point number one, ROS. First thing, ROS target 14, you achieved 11. Why this happened? Reason, investment made in IT security and facilities for disabled and visually impaired. Okay. Now, what do you think? Tell me, is it good or bad? Overall, in general, you would say ROS not up to the mark, it's bad. But considering the scenario, is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? Considering the scenario, this is good. Why? Because the investment that they made was to prevent fraud and make services more accessible for the customers. And you know what their values are? If you are still not sure about their values, so see, putting customer needs at first. So whatever they are doing for the customers is good, because it's not a profit based organization. Totally, I can see its vision. Its vision is to focus on customers. Profit is not their main criteria, right? Profit is not their main criteria. So if they are not working for profits and doing something good for the customers, it's good. Okay, done CCD here. So for this entire, you will be getting 1 mark. Okay, most probably 0.5 marks for the comment part and 0.5 marks for the reason, approximately. Maybe more for the reason and less, but it depends on question to question. Okay, got it? Second, be fast. Now we need to be fast. Interest income and net interest margin, I will combine these two because both are interrelated. Now, interest income is what? The income that they are getting from giving the loans, the interest income, right? So it has exceeded. Now, what is net interest margin? Net interest margin is what? Very quickly, for a bank will lend and will borrow. Okay, so quick idea I'm giving you. For example, this is just an example. Okay, don't relate here. Bank will always lend to the customer at a higher interest rate. For example, lending is done at 11%, and when bank will borrow, so bank will borrow at a lower percentage of 10%, for example. So lending at 11 and borrowing at 10. Okay, so what is the difference that they are earning? 11 is their income and 10 is what they are borrowing at. Okay, lending is their income and borrowing is their cost. So what is their net difference that they are earning, which is known as net interest margin? So can you tell me what there is net interest margin? It's 1%. It's the difference of 11 and 10, which is 1%. Okay, I'm explaining you a general concept here. Don't relate here with this. This is net interest margin, the difference of their income of lending and the cost of borrowing. Net interest margin. Okay, so the net interest margin has gone down. Okay, now listen. First of all, compared to target, more income they got, but their net interest margin has gone down, which means what? Which means that they are offering loans, they are lending at a lower percentage. They are lending at a lower percentage, which means they are not charging very high interest from their customers. They are lending them at a lower percentage. That's why their net interest margin has gone down. Their net profitability has gone down. And as they are offering loans at a lower percentage, so more people took loans from them. More people took loans from them, and that's why their absolute income of interest increased. A quick one, let me repeat. As you can see by the numbers itself, that their net interest margin has gone down, which means they are doing lending at cheaper rates. They are lending at cheaper rates. Okay. So if you're lending at cheaper rates, you're compromising on your net profitability. Okay, you're compromising on your net profitability. As you are lending at cheaper rates to the customers, so that is why obviously more customers want to get loan from your bank instead of your competitors, because you are cheaper for them. So more people took loan from you. That is why your absolute loan income increased from 7 to 7.5. The target, in fact, if I compare, not increase, I would say, compared to target, we are more. Okay. So in absolute terms, we received more interest. So I hope this is clear. Amen. It's a simple banking rule. Bank will lend. So it's an income for bank, and bank when borrows from people, it's a cost for bank. Okay. So the difference of income and cost is net interest margin. So now you tell me if bank is offering cheaper loans, is it good? Keeping in mind the scenario. Is it good? Keeping in mind the scenario. The answer is yes. Why? Not because to earn more interest, but according to their values. They value their customers. So see, People's Bank net interest income, however, was in fact 0.5. Interest income was 0.5 million higher than its target, which is good. Whereas net interest margin achieved is slightly lower than the target. Okay. This may, you have to use soft words, not hard words. You can't write should be, confirm, 100% guarantee. No, soft words in this area of interpretation. Maybe, can be, possibility. Okay, use soft words. So this may have been achieved by offering slightly better interest rates to customers than competing banks, as the interest margin has gone down. The People Bank achieved it slightly lower than target. This is the reason. Now, is it good? Considering the customers, this is good, because they are following their values. And where are their values? Here. Values. Helping customers. They need to help the people. Right? See? So we are not commenting, keeping in mind general advantages. We are commenting, keeping in mind scenario. Okay. So again, 0.5 for the comparison, maybe on and commenting about the value achievement, and 0.5 for the link that you just told. So 1 mark altogether. In fact, not 1, 2 marks here, because I've covered 2 areas together. Not 1, 2 marks. Yeah, 2. Okay. Last, amount of new lending to SMEs. You are required to lend 150 million. You did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you did lend 135 million. Come on, can you quickly tell me? Is the lending, 150 million, you d Less compared to the target? Yeah, it's less. So what do you think? Is it good keeping in mind the company's values? Do they want to help the SMEs? Yes, they want to help the SMEs. What are you doing? It's so easy. You have to use the values, that's it. You don't have to give your own guesses. Just use whatever given in the scenario. So you are not supporting the SMEs. Bad. You're bad here. You're bad here. So 0.5 marks for commenting that you're bad here because you are not following the values. And if there is any sort of a link that you can tell, that would be superb. Examiner in his examiner report has mentioned that people horribly did this part. They could not control the question of 16 marks the way I did by telling you 1 marks per indicator. People wrote general, which I'm not doing. I'm relating this to the scenario values. People didn't wrote the possible reasons, which I'm doing by telling you that ROS could have gone down by the investment that you have made. Okay. Now, can you relate this with any other? Yes, you can. Here is the connection. See, here is the connection. Learn this art. Number of colleagues trained to provide SMEs. You were required to train 1500, but you trained 1300. So because training was given less to the number of staff or colleagues, that could be the reason that loans were not given to them. You were not able to convince them because your people were not trained. Okay. So yes, this is a link, that less training given to the colleagues for the purpose of advising to SME, as we were not able to train our employees more. That is why there is a possibility, soft word, get softer, that we could not achieve the amount of lending SME targets. Link will give you 0.5 mark. Okay. Amount of new lending to SME is little bit disappointing. Is a bit disappointing, right? Now, disappointing. Given the People's Bank stated value of making difference to communities, the results are not good. 0.5. Reason can be insufficient number of staff were trained to provide SME. 0.5 to 1 mark. If there is a link, you can mention the link and get the marks. If there is not a link, then examiner will give you 1 mark for only mentioning whether it's according to values or not. Listening to me what I'm saying? If there is a link, you mention it, you get the mark. If you didn't find a link because there was no link, examiner will give you 1 mark for just mentioning it is according to values or not. That is why in the marking scheme you look, it's written 0.5 to 1 mark or 1 to 2 marks. Okay? Through. Done. Financials. Easy, difficult. What's your feedback? Come on, tell me. Did I make this easier? Okay, writing in bullets or not, I'll just explain at the end how to present it. Okay, I'll tell you. Don't worry. Customer perspective. Let's be fast now. Number of first time buyers. 80,000 was a target. 86,000, which means you gave 86,000 people the loan. Good or bad? Keeping in mind the values, not the numbers only. Values. Now, the value was to what? The value was to, yes, the values was to help the homeowners. Yeah. I think I should change the color, right? so that it resembles differently. See, homeowners. So yes, you have achieved it. Okay, now any reason for this increase? Not the reason. There is no reason as such. If there is no reason, if there is no link, no issue. Just mention that and grab 1 mark. It exceeded its target. This is helping People's Bank pursue its vision of helping new homeowners. Enjoy 1 mark. Enjoy 1 mark. No links as such here. Okay? Number of complaints. Come on, be with me. Number of complaints reduced per 1,000 customer. Good or bad? Keeping in mind the values. Good or bad? Okay. The complaints went down is good in general as well as from the perspective of People's Bank, because they wanted to make things more accessible. They wanted to help them because security has been improved, frauds have went down, complaints went down. So I can link here, because you have made the investment to improve your IT system, your complaints have gone down. I can make a link here, link. So I can grab 2 marks here. Sorry, 1 mark here. It managed to beat the target. 1.5 complaints below the target. Now listen, this may be as a result. Now this is a reason. Improve processes at bank and improve security. Okay. So here you will get 0.5 for this. This is helping People's Bank pursue its vision of making life easier. 0.5 marks here. Easy? Done. Let's move on. Number of talking cash points stalled for visually impaired. I can club these two because both serve the same purpose. So cash points stalled more than the target, wheelchair ramps more than the target. Okay, is it according to your values? Yeah. Where it was written? Here. For visually impaired and disabled. For visually impaired and disabled. Okay. Okay. So bank has exceeded in both the targets, this and this. This helped the disabled and visually impaired. This is good for its reputation and its stated value of making services more accessible, and you get 1 mark, as there is no reason as such to connect. It's not compulsory to connect everywhere. When you find obvious reasons, you do it. Okay, easy. Not 1. Again, I wrote it wrong. It's 2 because there are 2 indicators together. 2 marks. Easy 2 marks. Easy 2 marks. Done? Okay. Now, internal process. Let's quickly come towards internal process. Internal process. Now, come on, quickly tell me. Number of business processes simplified. 100 was a target. 110 you achieved. Good or bad? In general, it's good. And according to the scenario as well, it's good because you wanted to simplify the things. You wanted to simplify the things here. See? Wanted to simplify the things. So you did simplify the things. It's good overall. It's good overall. And why this could have happened? Can you link? Yes, you can. With the investment you made here. With the investment you made here. to make services more accessible. The investment you made here. So, exceeded the target, good. And investment you made, you can link with that. Plus, you can write here, this also became the reason for lower complaints. Another connection. You can link this with lower complaints as well, because your process become more simplified, your complaints went down, and you can even relate this with the investment you made. One link is enough if there is an obvious one link. So 0.5 for the comparison with shared values and 0.5 for the link. I hope you are all with me here. Okay. Now let's wind up this internal process. Mobile banking, not good here. Not good, right? Because you are required to introduce 5 services, you did 2. So in mobile banking, you are not good. Okay. So let's have a look. Only 2 services instead of 5, which is disappointing. This is not good for customers in terms of mobile banking, because you focus on customers. So keeping in mind your values, this is not good. Okay. Then number of incidents of frauds. Frauds, good or bad? You had a target that there will be 10 incidents of fraud, but the incidents of fraud were 3. Is it good or bad? Finding more frauds is good. Sorry, resulting in 4 more frauds is good or bad? It's good. It's good. Compared to target, it's good. Saim, you are saying that should be indicated in percentage change. You can indicate as a percentage change to target, but the marks are pretty less. So let's not go into this in this question. Okay. So 3 incidents of fraud, this is good. And you can see here, it was part of their values. It was part of their values to prevent the fraud. Value 1. So investment in IT has been a success. See, I can relate here. With what I can relate? They did invested, okay, to prevent the frauds, right? So I can relate that yes, this worked for you, frauds gone down, this is good for the customers. 1 mark. Total carbon dioxide emission. What's your comment here, friends? Emission went down or not? Or increased? Emission have increased or gone down? Emission has gone up, which is bad, which is not good, because you want people to live a sound life. You want to make difference in the community, you want them to live better lives, right? Better lives. It's your purpose that people live better lives. So considering this is not up to the mark for the communities they serve. Okay, any possible reason why emission went up? Maybe the new systems that you made the investment, new investment that you made into the business, new systems that you invented could be the reason for the high emission. Reason. If you can find a valid reason, write it down. You get marks for that. Otherwise, just commenting, keeping in mind the targets is okay. Okay? Through? Done? See how easily we are handling 16-mark question. Now, learning and growth. The last one. Number of colleagues trained, we have already covered. We still will cover here. We'll say that the target hasn't been achieved. Okay? The bank has not quite met its target, which is bad. It's not according to their values. Okay? It is bad. As mentioned earlier, shortfall in training given to advice to SME may have an impact. We have already related that with the first financial perspective. Okay? And it's a failure to meet the target. Clear? 1 mark. Now, number of hours spent to support community projects. Have you spent more hours? Yeah, I did mention due to new systems, emission have gone up. Okay. So hours are more, good or bad? More hours you spent on supporting the community projects. Is it good or bad? Good or bad? It's good. Okay. Plus number of community organizations supported. Number of community organizations supported increased. Good or bad? Okay. So you can link here. More hours spent could be the reason for increase of the support to the community, right? Okay. So it's good overall because you want to support the communities, right? You want to support the communities. So many colors now because it's so obvious that things could be linked here very easily. So you can see here that you want to serve the community. So it's good. Now I can club these two. I'll club these two. Number of hours and support to community projects. The bank has succeeded in helping the community exceeding both of its targets of hours and the number of support to the community organizations. And this is all has helped to achieve its values. And one more thing is coming in my mind. Do you think these additional costs resulted in a lower ROAS? Yes. Could be that this additional cost would become the reason for the reduction in ROAS? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So 1 mark. In fact, not 1 mark, 2 marks, because there are 2 points I've combined. Okay. The last. Number of trainee positions taken up by the candidates from N's most disadvantaged area. Your plan was to train 2,000 people, but 1990 came. Come on, good or bad? Good or bad? Okay. Now, here I cannot comment. You know why? Because I don't know the N's complete environment. I don't know the N's environment, that how many candidates are there actually. This is outside my control. Maybe there are not many people in those disadvantaged area. Could be that. Okay. So I cannot exactly comment whether it's good or bad. and I can only say that this is out of the control. The percentage of trainee position, the targets was only just missed, and this may well be, will have been. The number of candidates applying for these areas was not high as planned, and bank has no control. There is a possibility that people didn't came and didn't apply there. Okay. So question like this, where you are required to discuss the performance, you can give a conclusion. So overall, what's your conclusion? Were they good in terms of their values or not? What's your general conclusion? Were they good in terms of their values or not? Overall, the bank has had fairly successful year, meeting many of its targets. Okay. However, it still has some work to do in order to meet its stated values and continue to pursue its vision. But overall, it has achieved the targets. So 1 mark per point you are getting. Understood, friends? Clear? Come on. Became easier. So much related to the scenario. Okay. Now, a quick Q&A on this. How to write? You don't have to use bullets. No bullets. This will be in a paragraph. This will be in a paragraph. This will be in a paragraph. You can use subheadings and short paragraphs. So these subheadings are okay. Same here, internal process, 4 subheadings. That is okay, but not in bullets, paragraphs. Combine these two in a paragraph. Paragraph, short paragraphs. Subheading, short paragraph. Because reader wants to understand the things. Yeah, Farhad, you get marks for conclusion if you write a good conclusion. And question like these are one where a good short, simple conclusion would give you marks. Okay, so not in bullets, in paragraph form, which subheadings and short paragraphs. Not these bullets. This is just for your ease right now. I just wanted to explain you that these are the points that you have to write. That is comment and the reason why. Comment and the reason why. So I hope this category 2 would have become really easy for you today. Now, remember, category 2 has a lot of variety. So try to understand the element. The element is important. Every element is important. So I hope the application of CCD would have made things clear, and the element understanding would have made things really clear for you. I hope this is good. The entire idea behind this was easy for you to understand. What's your feedback, guys? Became easier? Yes or no? Okay, you can even write Mohammed Fazil 4 paragraphs. But my point is, the more clear and simple you write, the reader will find it more interesting. Okay? You can write under one heading of internal process customer as well, Wasim. That is also equally possible. But just make sure that it should be not too big, long paragraphs. Then even if you want to write in under one heading, okay, then use separate paragraphs for the indicators. So that will make more easy for the reader. Nice and easy to read. Yeah. No tabular form. No tabular form. No tabular form. Otherwise, I should have told you earlier. Okay. So guys, is the session up till now useful? Was I able to make performance measurement financial, non-financial easy for you? Okay. For transfer pricing, $1 million plan will include transfer pricing. I'll share the important transfer pricing, and transfer pricing will become very easy. No issues. Okay. Wait for my $1 million plan. Now, divisional performance. I'm starting with divisional performance. I will solve a question. If I can complete it today, that's good. If I cannot, I'll continue tomorrow, because I will solve a question on divisional performance. So let's now begin with divisional performance, the second area of your paper. Transfer pricing has been covered in my previous 2 webinars. Very well done. So I'll share the links of that. Now, cost center is responsible for cost. Revenue center is responsible for maximization of revenues. Profit center is responsible for maximization of profits. And investment center is totally responsible for cost, for revenues, for profits, and for making investments as well. Revenue center has the complete liberty, and they can make investments on their own, which means they can make investments in relation to their working capital. They can make investments in relation to their fixed assets. This is an investment center. So investment center has complete right authority to make investments. So when it comes to investment center, there are 2 indicators, ROI and RI. ROI and RI. Okay, I'll come to this later on. ROI and RI. So what is ROI? ROI is return on investment, which you work out by profit before interest and tax divided by investment. Okay, investment. Okay. So ROI is return on investment. It indicates that the investment done will give you how much return. Okay. We'll look at these advantages, drawbacks later on. RI is basically is an indicator which indicates you how much investment can earn over the minimum return, and in RI we use cost of capital. We use cost of capital. So RI is an absolute measure. What it is? Absolute measure. It indicates whether the division has the capability to cover up the minimum shareholder cost or not. Okay. So RI is residual, sorry, it's absolute, and ROI is percentage based, which is relative. So on the basis of these two, we use these two for investment centers, normally known as divisions. Okay. Now, section C, another question coming up. The same what you say, suggestion we have. Tips are important that I'm giving you. Section A, B, C wise. Section B tips were given to you in the last 2 days of webinar. Today is all about section C. Today I've covered theory very in depth. Now listen, in general, a general rule for theory is what? Whether theory is of variances, of any other area, for every theory question, the first thing you need to figure out is the verbs and the objects. And then look whether it's knowledge based, textbook knowledge, or application based. Getting the point? And then come to the specific $1 million tips for theories topic wise. Like I told you, for financial and non-financial, you can use categories. For variances, I told you CRIC. Remember CRIC yesterday? Calculate, reason, interdependence, and conclusion. So I'm telling you specific theory tricks as well. and general how to handle theory, which is verb and object, knowledge and application based. Let's begin with the past paper question, the second past paper question, and this will be a CB style. I hope I have this in front of me. Okay, here. I hope today screen is moving. Yeah, it's fine. Now, I'm starting with a very good question of Lens Company, and I'll try to solve as much as I can today. I'll try to solve at least two parts of this question. Within the given time. Okay, now let's read the requirements quickly. So I can adjust the screen according to my own wish. Okay, anyways, now calculate ROI for each division for now. Calculate ROI. Okay, calculate is the verb. Now you are very good in theory, I'm sure. ROI for each division, ensuring the basis of calculation that makes it a suitable measure for assessing divisional performance. Okay, so you have to decide what will be the suitable measure. Okay, you have to decide this. Okay, now let's begin. Lensco manufactures lenses for use by a wide range of commercial customers. Now, this is actually the exam section C that will be given to you in the paper, and here you can highlight the things. Okay, so Lens company manufacture lenses for use by a wide range of commercial customers. The company has two divisions: the photographic division and optometry division. Each of the division is run by a divisional manager who has overall responsibility for all aspects of running their division. Okay, responsibility, which means they have the responsibility. Okay, and division are currently treated as investment center. So if these are investment center, technically they should have all the rights in their hands to take the decisions. They don't have to refer to the head office. Okay, each manager, however, has an authorization limit of 15,000 per item of capital expenditure. What is this? A limit to make expenditure? What kind of investment center this is? Now this is creating doubts in my mind. And any item costing more than this must first be approved by the head office. What kind of investment center is this? Anyway, let's move on. During the year, head office had a decision to sell a large amount of equipment in division P. Head office made the decision. Highlight this. And replace it with more technologically advanced equipment. Who made the decision? Head office, because head office has said that I'll take the decision for any amount exceeding $15,000. It also decided to close one of the division's O factories in a country deemed to be politically unstable with the intention of opening new. The managers of the division has, this is a big question mark. Both divisions trade with overseas customers, choosing to provide these customers within 60 days of credit to encourage sales. Okay, both division trade, right? Due to differences in exchange rates between the time of invoicing and customer receiving payment, exchange rates and losses often occurred. Okay, now this I think is in their hands, right? As it says, both division trade with overseas customers. This means this is something in their hands and they don't have to refer. Thank God something is in their hands. Okay, thank God. Okay, Now, let's look at the information further which is given to us, which says that revenue, gain on sale of equipment, okay, gain on sale of equipment, right? Uh, direct labor, direct material, divisional overheads. There is a static here. Let's see what it says. Depreciation on uncontrollable assets, including in divisional overheads. Now, if you are a manager, my question is, you want your performance to be checked on the basis of controllable things or uncontrollable things? What is your quick idea? Controllable or uncontrollable? Thank you. I'm a legend. Yeah. Controllable or uncontrollable? Controllable. Controllable. Yes. Okay. Great. Just put yourself into this position. So this includes depreciation on uncontrollable overheads. Exchange gain and losses, exceptional cost for factory closure. Exceptional cost for factory closure. Okay. Allocated head office cost. And then we have the profit here. Now, quickly, let's move towards non-current assets. Non-current assets controlled by the division. Controlled by the division are given to you separately, and controlled by head office are given to you separately. That's so different, right? Which means they don't have power. Divisional managers don't have power about everything. If you are the manager in this company, so things which are not in your control, you want yourself to be assessed on that. Say yes or no. Receivables, inventory, overdraft, payables, all are all mentioned clearly. Managers have always been paid a bonus on the basis of ROI achieved in their divisions. Okay, their bonus is given on ROIs, which means if your bonus is given on ROI, and when you are calculating ROI, do you want to include those things which are not in your control? Or do you want to include those expenses which are not in your control? Come on, talk to me now. I'll say by my mouth and you'll write by the keyboard. Okay, so you want yourself to be judged against those expenses which are not in your control? No, you don't want to be, right? You don't want to be, because your bonus will be affected. If I'm charging something which is not in your control, your profits will go down and your bonus will go down. Strange. 6 marks. Let's begin with the calculation. Now you tell me, I'm asking you one by one, what to include, because the question has stated suitable measure for assessing divisional manager's performance. Now let's assume, let's put yourself into the scenario that you are the manager and I'm calculating ROI for you. So what should come for you and what should not come for you? Tell me. Great. Like this, I'll solve this in few minutes. I'll solve both the parts in few minutes. Come on, let's begin. Okay, great. Division P, division O. Okay, we are working out ROI. Let's start with revenue. Let's be very basic here. Now you tell me, should I take the revenue? Come on, I need replies, please. 14,000? Yes. 18,800. Should I take the revenue complete? Yeah, I should. Okay. Now, what about gain on sale of equipment? Should I take gain on sale of equipment? Should I take gain on sale of equipment? Yes or no? Let's write it down here. Gain. Yes or no? No, I should not take. Why? Why I should not take the gain? Because, wow, that's so unfair, right? You want to take anything which is of your advantage, right? Who took the decision to sell the equipment? See second paragraph. Who took the decision to sell the equipment? Come on, head office. If head office took the decision to sell the equipment, then why are you taking the benefit of that when I'm calculating your profit? If if head office took the decision in second paragraph, I've highlighted this, then why are you taking the benefit? I'm calculating your profits. Okay, I'm calculating your profit. So I will not take, this is because this is out of the control of the manager. Out of the control of manager. Not in control. Because head office took decision. Okay? Clear? I should not take. Yeah. Ignore this. Now cost. Direct material. Should I take direct material? Yes, friends. Yes, I should take. Minus 4,800. Minus 6,500. Should I take direct labor? Should I take direct labor? Yes, I should take direct labor. Okay, great. Now, what about overheads? Should I take overheads completely or should I make some adjustment in overheads? Not complete. Why? Why? Who will tell me why? Just put yourself into the position of a manager now, right? Why? Because it includes depreciation on uncontrollable assets. It includes depreciation on uncontrollable assets. If you are the manager, do you want to include this in your profit calculation? Come on, tell me. You are very selfish, I know. You will say no. Because it includes depreciation on those assets which you don't control. So, not in control. Not in control. Okay? Okay. So, what I'll do here, I'll make a small adjustment and will remove this, right? So, what I'm going to do here is I'll exclude this. So, what will be the figure? The figure will be 3,800 minus 320. It's 3,480. 3,480. Okay. Second, 5,200 minus 460. It's 4,760. 4,760. 4,740. Sorry. Agreed, guys? I just excluded the figures. I'm sure it's a simple math I'm doing here. Yeah. Now, anything else? What about exchange gain and losses? Exchange gain and losses. Should I take exchange gain and losses? Come on, guys, tell me. Exchange gain and losses. Yes. Why? Because see here, both division trade with overseas customers. Choosing to provide these customers. Choosing. The word choosing. is making clear that the divisions have the authority to decide from which customer to do business or not, which means this comes under your control. And any exchange gain or loss that will arise, you have to bear that. Choosing. So yeah, exchange gain will be added here. Exchange gain will be added here. Okay. Exchange gain, yes, because division choose customers. Got it? Yeah, it's the manager decision to give credit. So I should take this in their areas of performance. So how much is the figure? 460 negative, 200 negative, 460 positive. Minus 200 and positive 460. Are you getting the point, everyone? Okay. We are almost there now. Be with me. Let me complete this. And then we will end the session and the $1 million plan. Okay. Don't leave. Now, done? Should I take exceptional cost for factory closure? Exceptional cost for factory closure. Yes or no? Okay. I'll add the gain. Don't worry. I'll add the gain. Don't worry. Okay, don't worry. That's why I made a sign of positive here. That's why I took the sign of positive. Okay, I'll add it. Exceptional cost. Yes or no? No. Why? Why? Because the decision to close the division was taken by the head office. Head office. Head office took the decision. No. No. Why? Head office decision. It was head office decision. Okay? Getting? Yeah. So I'll not take this one. Okay, further move on. Allocated head office cost. Should I take allocated head office cost? The answer is no. Allocated head office cost. No. Why? Because this is head office cost, doesn't pertain to division. Now, will you take this responsibility of their cost? Are you happy to take the responsibility of head office? No, you're not. Surya says 7 times no. I'm not. Yeah. So we won't take this. Okay. So now, can we work out the profit on the basis of these figures? Can we work out the profit on the basis of these figures? Yes, let's work out. I'll apply some formula and intelligently I've used the negative signs. So it's 3120. I'll copy the formula with Control C and we'll paste here. And it's 4520. Done. Okay, clear? So how many marks you will get for this entire calculation? 2 marks for profits. 2 marks for profits out of 6 marks. Rizwan Mania will not leave marking scheme. I'll not deviate from marking scheme. 2 marks. Through? Clear? Okay. Done. Now what's next? What's next? We need to work out now? The assets, right? Okay. So which figures to take for assets? Tell me which figures to take. Non-current assets, controllable or not controllable? Controllable or non-controllable? Yes, please. Controllable or not controllable? Controllable, right? Okay. So the amount is 15,400. Okay. Should I take inventory? Quickly decide. Should I take inventories? Should I take receivables? Should I take overdraft? Should I take payables? Yes or no? Yes. Everything except for non-current assets controlled by head office. So I just didn't took what? Non-current head office. No. Doesn't relates. Doesn't pertains to division. Okay? Getting the point, guys? Now let's work out the figures. 1800, 6200, 500 minus, right? Payables 5100 minus. For this one 20,700, 3,900, 8,900. Nothing for here. Minus 7,200. So what is the figure of investment? I'll just take 2 more minutes now. Okay? 2 more minutes. That's it. Got it, everyone? Now the ROI. 2 marks for this calculation. For this calculation. 2 marks. Now the ROI. Now the ROI. Division 1 divided by profit divided by its investment. Okay? 18%. Right? Division B. Profit divided by investment. Just convert this into percentage. 17%. Are we all getting the point? Yes or no? 17 and 18% is the answer. Profit divided by investment. 2 marks for ROI. 6 marks done. 2 marks for profit, 2 marks for investment, 2 marks for ROI. 6 marks done. Liability, yeah, liability is something that we reduce, right? Surya, we reduce liability, and this is what I've done. Okay, maximize the view. Are you getting my point, everybody? Are you getting my point? Now, done with this part. 2 marks. 2 marks. Okay? And 2 marks, all written in red. Got it, guys? Now, the next part already done. Next part already done. Explain is the verb. Why you have included or excluded items in calculating ROI in part A, stating any assumptions you have made. This is for 8 marks. 8 marks. Verb is explain. Verb is explain. What is object? What is the element? Element. The element is why you have included or excluded. Why you included or excluded. Stating any assumptions. I have already done the second part. See my intelligence. I've already done the second part. Here is the second part. The points for the second part are given here. See, here is the second part. These were the items I had to discuss. Why I included and why excluded. So you know why we included exchange gain. You know that. And you know why you excluded all these things. Right? Yes, guys. So the second part has been done automatically. You just have to write in the proper paragraph form. That's it. That's it. So you have to explain why included, why excluded. This is the second part. And I did this. So this is what we had to write. Explain why you've included, excluded the items in ROI. So I did explain you while solving that this is something I will exclude and this is something I will not. Come on, tell me, easy or difficult? It's Lens Company. The name is Lens Company. Thank you, Zishan. Thank you. I work out this. I did a smart working. While solving part A, I explained part B. Time saving as well. No, not like this in a paragraph form, obviously. Not like this, betrays paragraph form. Thank you, Anam Noor. Thank you. So I hope we are done with this part. Now, I hope the verbs and elements of this part are clear. Explain and discuss was used here. So now the $1 million plan will be shared to you on the WhatsApp group. If you're not part of the group, just WhatsApp me on this number. Okay, WhatsApp me on this number. Right? Now, any questions in last minute or so? You will be given Word, Microsoft Word for this part B. Okay, this should be given in part B on Microsoft Word. Don't worry, not Excel. No, this second part will be given in Word. If you miss a figure, Ibrahim, only that particular mistake mark will be deducted. The rest you will get the marks. Okay, the rest will get the marks. Explain and discuss slide didn't had anything. I did showed you earlier as well when I was doing that first part. Okay, so if you still want to, so yeah, this is the slide. Okay, now send me a quick WhatsApp if you're not part of the group before I end the today's session. Was the session worth it today? Tell me, was the session worth it today? My objective is to make performance management easy for you. I want you to jump from MA to PM. Was the session uh, easy and useful? And the $1 million techniques, the magical ones, what do you think? All these were really easy and worth it. Please share your feedbacks for me first. What the magical categories useful? How you rate the today's session? From 1 till 5, how you rate the session? 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. How you rate the today's session? 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. Yeah. 5 being the best, not yeah, yeah, I understood. I understood. You mistakenly wrote 1. How you rate the today's session, guys? 5 being the best, 1 being the worst. I really got shocked. I said, oh man. Okay, so I hope the techniques were good for you, right? The $1 million technique will help you for sure. And this will be a game changer. This will be a game changer for you. $1 million techniques will be a game changer for you, inshallah. So, guys, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And do use the techniques well, the $1 million techniques especially. Okay, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye.